I think complacency is a curse for humanity. It could be compared to the rock Sisyphus was asked to carry. An escape for those who are incapable of thinking. Every time the world becomes permeable for free ideas, people start preparing for a war that doesn't exist. People start making villains up when they don't have any fights to fight. Brute force for the sake of brute force. Most people in the world have someone to point towards and call them a guardian. Where they first got to feel a sense of belonging, a sense of warmth, a sense of normalcy, or at least the concept of normalcy. This human experience lends itself to traditionalism because at its heart, traditionalism is nostalgia for a time that doesn't exist. This isn't a criticism for traditionalism, but no punches will be pulled. In his book Beyond Good or Evil, Friedrich Nietzsche talks about the way people perceive nature. Talk is an understatement here. He is raging at the Stoics. People who want to live a natural life, people who claim that they are living the way we should. He asks, how could you do any differently? In essence, posing the question, who are you to make a principle out of what is natural and what is not? Traditionalism, by definition, is naturalistic in nature, often a thoughtless process, something the old rely on and the young look up to. But it's difficult to take it seriously since oftentimes it is used as an escape from self-awareness, used as a tool for regressiveness. The most egregious sin, again, for me is complacency, unthunk actions, regardless of the fact if someone is incapable of thinking or just doesn't want to. One must think. As simple as it sounds, impulsive behavior is the norm. Resisting the impulse is considered unnatural. One must think before they do. Because if we never strive to look under, if we never go beyond the known, we will never know what we don't know. The modern world has its promises, but being built on the shoulders of a broken and paranoid generation, it doesn't always deliver though. The modern world doesn't really advertise it, but it makes you think. It makes you self-aware. It makes you think about you, yourself, and others. About material and even immaterial things. About nothing but also sometimes everything. A little too self-aware, I think. So is it better to return to our roots? Is it better to not think about anything? Is it better to seclude your mind and return to nature? Maybe, but who am I to make a principle out of what is natural and what is not? Glass half full or half empty. A reductive discussion that is usually a disservice to the topic at hand, often making the people look for a perpetrator. An entity to blame it all on or make them responsible for everything. Why are we looking for a perpetrator in the first place? Why do we ask a close-ended question and expect an open-ended answer? Traditionalism is open and whole, its simplicity allowing us to give in to our desires, to stop thinking about it. I despise being complacent. I think being complacent is the cardinal sin, quite possibly the only sin. Looking for meaning where there isn't any makes you go a little insane. makes you want to look for someone to blame, makes you want to prepare for a war that isn't being waged. The search for meaning itself becomes a little meaningless. For a long time, the scientists thought that nothing could truly be probabilistic, meaning that given enough information about a system, we will be able to determine everything about it. A young Heisenberg begged to differ. The famous Heisenberg's principle gave rise to the many worlds interpretation, which says that our world is truly probabilistic in nature. This explains the reason for the existence of life, but also says a lot about us. The traditionalists and the modernists, the postmodernists and the neo-modernists, the existentialists, the pragmatists, even the absurdists can't help but look for a perpetrator. All of it makes us look for a beginning as well as an end. It's a tiring search, and it has brought us here. Nothing matters. At first, the statement pulls us back, but then we realize nothing matters. There are no perpetrators, there are no wars to prepare for because none of it matters. There is no life mission to complete, a meaningless task at hand that doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. You can find meaning in whatever you like, you can do whatever you want for however long. There are no boundaries, no limitations. Just don't be complacent because nothing matters. Then why should we do any of it if none of it matters? Because we can. Because we are the only ones who can. Because in a probabilistic world, everything is a possibility.
We're the lucky ones. We're the ones who get to die. Most people who could ever exist will never even be born. Take every occasion you can to drink in and celebrate life because you won the lottery. Most people will never even know there was a lottery.